Hello, everybody. Today, very important lesson, very commonly asked Regents question. I can write the equation of a parabola using x minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. So, let's talk about what the definition of a parabola is. A parabola is the set of all points equidistant between a point called the focus and a line called the directrix. So basically, if I have a line and a point, and I want to know every single point that is an equal distance between them, well, I would start with this, and then as I went out, I would kind of hook up, because this and this are the same, and of course this is approximate right now what I'm doing, and this is approximately the same distance, and what I'm going to end up with is something like that. So the initial point is called the focus, the line is called the directrix, and there's a special name for this point right here on the parabola, and this we call the vertex. And notice that the vertex is always in between the other two. The vertex is always between the focus and the directrix. So that's something that's going to be important to know. The vertex is always in between the focus and the directrix. And again, what a parabola is, it's all the points that are equidistant between a point called the focus and a line called the directrix. So let's take a look at our first example. It's giving me the focus and it's giving me the directrix. So my focus is 0, 2. I'm going to label that with an F. My directrix is y equals -2. Now, if you remember from geometry in Algebra 1, y equals a number is a horizontal line. So this right here would be y equals -2. So I need to start with the vertex. The three key pieces of information are focus, vertex, and directrix, and the vertex is always in between the other two. So since they are 1, 2, 3, 4 apart, the vertex must be 2 from each, and in this example, the vertex is at 0, 0. Now, my parabola. My parabola must be an equal distance from the point and the line. What that means is it can never touch the line. So since it can't touch the line, in this example, it's going to have to open up. So I'm just drawing a very rough sketch, just showing that it's opening up. Now, I want to write the equation for the parabola. X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. So there are three variables. There's v, t, and p. Vt is the vertex. Now, most teachers don't use v and t. In fact, I've never seen a teacher other than me use vt, and the reason I call it v and t is because it's the vertex. A common mistake is to put the focus in instead of the vertex. It's the vertex. P is the distance between the vertex and the focus. So v and t in this example are 0 and 0. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus, which would be 1, 2. Now, because I'm going up, and also because the parabola is opening up, P is positive. If the parabola was opening down, then P would be negative. So, time to substitute in. Now, minus in a formula means change the sign. Just like in quadratic formula, when you have x equals -b, that means change the sign of b. This means change the sign of v, change the sign of t. Doesn't really apply with the 0, x minus 0 squared over 4 times 2 equals y minus 0. I just substituted my values in. Now, x minus 0 is just x, and y minus 0 is just y. So I'm just going to make it x squared. My bottom left, 4 times 2 is 8. And y minus 0 is just y. And that's your answer. Now, you might see your answer written a couple of different ways, so I want to get comfortable with that. First of all, this is the same thing as 1/8 x squared. So that's one thing. So you might see it, instead of the 8 being on bottom of the x squared, you might see a 1/8 up top, out front, excuse me. Now you might have to cross multiply as an answer. And again, this is all fine, but if it's multiple choice, there's a lot of different variations you're going to see. So if I cross multiplied, I would get 8y equals x squared. You might see your answer like that. The last thing you might have to do, which wouldn't apply in this question, is you might have to isolate y. Because y was already isolated here, you wouldn't have to do that. So at the end, there's a lot of different forms. There's a lot of different little things to know for this question. So because of that, we're going to go through one of our songs. Schleifsky.com, YouTube, playlists. It's getting closer to 300 subscribers. Common Core Algebra 2 songs. Definition of a parabola.
X minus b squared over 4p equals y minus t. I'd have to cross multiply 4I so late y. X minus b squared over 4p equals y minus t. Might have to cross multiply 4I so late y.
X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. Might have to cross multiply 4I so late y. X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. That's your formula to plug into. And understand you might have to cross multiply to come up with an equivalent answer, or isolate y, which we didn't see in this example. We'll see in the next. Let's try another example. It's giving me the focus. It's giving me the directrix. So let's plot my focus. My directrix. Now I'm missing the vertex. The vertex is always between the other two. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 between them, it's going to be 2 from each. That's my vertex. That's -3, 4. Because my parabola can't touch the directrix, it can't touch the line, it's going to have to open down. X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. V equals t equals p equals. Vt is the vertex. So since the vertex is -3, 4, v is -3, t is 4. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. It's going down 2, so P is -2. And again, if you're not sure if P is positive or negative, if the parabola opens up, it's positive. If it opens down, it's negative. Now I'm going to substitute my values into the formula. Remember, minus in a formula means change the sign. So if V is -3, I'm going to write x plus 3 squared. For P, P is -2 equals y minus t. Since t is positive 4, I write -4. Now, the only thing I can do here is my bottom left. Everything else is going to stay the same for now. X plus 3 squared over -8 equals y minus 4. I am fine with this. If it's open response, you're good. However, if it's multiple choice, I might have to cross multiply. So if I cross multiply, I get negative 8 times y minus 4 equals x plus 3 squared. Or isolate y. You might have to isolate y. So if I were to isolate y, I would just add 4 to both sides. So I would get y equals x plus 3 squared over negative 8 plus 4. And as I also mentioned, you might see this written, instead of the negative 8 being on bottom, you might see it as negative 1/8 x plus 3 squared equals y minus 4. So all of these are equivalent. They're all equivalent. If it's multiple choice, you're going to see it in a lot of different ways. So again, it's kind of annoying because this isn't really related to the topic. It's just an algebra thing. But it comes up a lot in this type of question, funny equivalent forms. Just follow the song, x minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. And then you might have to cross multiply for an equivalent answer, or isolate y as an equivalent answer. And also, that negative 8 in the bottom might need to pop out to become negative 1/8. All right, let's keep on going. Focus is 6, negative 4. Vertex is 6, negative 1. Now, I'm not giving you the same pieces of information as I did in the first two problems. There's always 3 key pieces of information: the focus, the vertex, and the directrix. In this example, I'm missing the directrix. So in order to find the directrix, you need to remember which one is in between the other two. The vertex is always in between the other two. So if the directrix was on the bottom, somewhere over here, the vertex wouldn't be in the middle. If the directrix were here, the vertex wouldn't be in the middle. So the directrix has to be somewhere up here in order for the vertex to still be in the middle. So that got a little messy, but it's hard for me to show you things. I can't really point to it so you see them. So exactly where is it going to go? Well, since it's 1, 2, 3 to get to the vertex, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 to get to the directrix. The directrix is always a horizontal line, so it's always y equals, and in this case, it's y equals positive 2. Is the parabola going to open up or down? Well, since it can't touch the directrix, in this example, it's going to have to open down. And now I can start writing my equation. X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. V equals, T equals, P equals. V and T are the vertex, so 6 and negative 1. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus, negative 1, 2, 3. And again, if you're not sure if it's positive or negative, if it opens up, it's positive. If it opens down, it's negative. All right, so we sub in. Minus in a formula means change the sign. So that 6 becomes x minus 6. P is negative 3. That negative 1 becomes y plus 1. And then the only thing I can do is the bottom left. And that's my first answer. That's my answer. Now, equivalent forms. I might have to cross multiply. If I cross multiply, I get negative 12 times y plus 1 equals x minus 6 squared. Or isolate y. To get y by itself, I would have to subtract 1. So I would get y equals x minus 6 squared over negative 12 minus 1. Also understand that negative 12 on the bottom could be popped out into a negative 1/12. So it could be negative 1/12 x minus 6 squared equals y plus 1, or any combination of those. So once you get it, I mean, if it's open response, you're fine with this. But if it's multiple choice, you might have to cross multiply or isolate y. I think we're just going to do one more together, and then after that, I'm going to let you practice on your own. The directrix is y equals negative 1. So it's a horizontal line at negative 1. That's my directrix. My vertex is 2, negative 4. I'm missing the focus. To determine where the focus goes, the vertex is always in between the other two. So in order for the vertex to be in between the other two, the focus would have to be somewhere over here. Because if it was up here, the directrix would be in between the other two. And if it was here, then the focus would be in between the other two. So you need to understand that the vertex is always in between the other two. So where exactly is it going to go? Since it's 1, 2, 3 to get to the vertex, it's 1, 2, 3 more to get to the focus. The coordinates of the focus are 2, negative 7. So on a test question, I might ask for the focus, I might ask for the vertex, I might ask for the directrix, or I might ask for the equation of the parabola. So we're taking a look at finding all those things. I can't touch the directrix, so it's going to open down, which means p is going to be negative. X minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. V, t, p. V is 2, p is negative 4, p is 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, I'm counting the wrong thing. From the vertex to the focus, negative 1, 2, 3. Again, it's negative because it opens down. Minus in a formula means change the sign, so the 2 and negative 4 are going to become x minus 2 and y plus 4. X minus 2 squared over 4 times a negative 3 equals y plus 4. My bottom left I just do that, and I'm done. That's an answer. If it's open response, you're done. You got full credit. However, you might have to cross multiply. If I cross multiply, I get negative 12 times y plus 4 equals x minus 2 squared. You might see your answer like that. Or isolate y. You might have to isolate y. So if I'm isolating y, I'm looking back here now, I might have to subtract 4 from both sides. That would give me minus 4. And again, that negative 12 on the bottom could pop out to negative 1/12. They're all equivalent forms. If it's open response, I don't care which one you do. When I quiz you on this, at the end of next period, all I need is one of them, but I'm going to give you extra credit if you can give me multiple ones. So it's time for you to practice. Your classwork/homework is going to be to finish this assignment. Next class, we're going to practice this, and that's all I got for you. To write the equation of a parabola, x minus v squared over 4p equals y minus t. And understand that the vertex is always in between the other two. At this point, practice, and again, this is on every single Regents exam, so it's definitely going to come up. You definitely need to be comfortable with it. All right, practice.